Hi, my lovely Libras, and welcome to my channel, the Zodiac Love Tarot. I'm Jennifer Winters, and I am the author and creator of the ZodiacLoveCode.com series and the Venus Unleashed series. And I'm also a Libra. Hey! And if you don't know much about me, I'm a sixth stellium Libra, meaning that when I was born, there were a whole lot of planets in my fun sign of Libra. But I also have Pluto way out in the left field in my 12th house, meaning that it makes me into an empath. And what an empath does is basically we feel the emotions of people. And I, in particular, because I have this Pluto in my 12th house, I feel emotions from the collective, like, just the weight of the world sometimes. And so what I try to do is channel that into some love to give and bring to you, because being a sixth stellium Libra, that was what I was born to do, was basically bring love to the world and try to help the world and try to make the world a better place. And I think that's what most of us Libras try to do, right? We try to make the world into a better place. And I hope that you're in a place where you are able to give back to the world, because, everyone needs a little Libra love, right? So how this works is basically the way I do readings is I have married my astrology information from when I was I started learning when I was like 12 years old with tarot cards, because I believe tarot cards can tell a story. It can help me help you with your story, and that way you can feel better at the end of this, and we've both imparted some energy and some love to each other. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is I want you to send your energy through the viewer. If you feel like you're in a bad place, if you feel like you are just wondering about, where your love life is going, if you are feeling like, sad, or you have some anxiety, or you feel like you're at an impasse, you feel stuck, or if you feel, like you're indecisive right now, or somehow you're just off balance, because, with Libras, we tend to get off balance quite a bit. Ooh, okay, already I'm starting to feel. Wow, that was I guess with the Libras, I get it pretty hard. So what I'm feeling right now is that you're telling me you feel like you've been taken advantage of. Something has happened. I don't know if it's recent or if okay. So what's happened is you feel like you're behind. You feel like your life has um, not progressed the way it could have, because you feel like you've been taken advantage of in the past. Now, when I feel these emotions, you have to understand that if this doesn't resonate with you, it could be that someone else is having a powerful energy right now and they have a lot of questions. And so I just try to help, when I feel this emotion. And I'm also feeling like you just feel like you don't have the security that you want. You don't feel like you feel like you should have been further ahead by now, and you just haven't made any progress, and you feel like you've given a lot of yourself. Okay, I feel that you've given a lot of yourself and you haven't really gotten back what you wanted out of other people that you've really gone above and beyond for. And I can understand that completely. I'm trying to make sure I shield my own Libra energy, because I want to make sure this is your story. But I feel you, though, because I know how it is, because in the past I've done that with people. Is I've given them a lot of my energy, a lot of my time, a lot of understanding, a lot of compromise, and I haven't always I I guess I can. Okay, I'm also feeling more stuff from you right now. So you're basically telling me that you want to know what you can do to not be taken advantage of anymore, because you're tired of feeling that way. Okay, and also what I would do in these readings I would be giving a love reading, and maybe a healing reading, and maybe a career reading or something, but it really depends on what you have to say or what's coming. Okay, I feel at first I wasn't feeling any energy about love, but now I am feeling energy. It's like you're getting taken advantage of, not only like maybe career wise, but you're also getting taken advantage of in like your love life. Or maybe this has happened, it may not be right now, but it happened maybe in the past, and you just don't feel like you've gotten you haven't made the successes that you would like to, and you just want to make sure that you have your security, that you feel comfortable. You know, you don't like feeling sort of like uncertain about, you know, the future, and you just wish that, okay, you wish that you could get back some time. But I hate to tell you, like, I wish you could get back some time, but that is just not possible. But what I could do is a reading for you and show you basically like what allowed you to be taken advantage of in the past. And then I can do, so I'll do a spread, and the first card will be like what allowed you to be taken advantage of in the past. Like, what was it about you? What kind of, I don't want to say flaw, but maybe just weakness that you had that allowed this to happen so that it doesn't happen again. And also I'll pull a second card saying like what your strength is, like what do you need to be strong about going forward. And then the third card that I'll pull will be like, will you get ahead sooner rather than later, or are you going to stay like in this I guess stifled state where you're not getting ahead. But also this whole time that I've, you know, been listening to you, I can still feel that there's some healing that needs to happen with this reading too. I feel like it has something to do with you're telling me that like I feel like chemicals or something are in the body, like maybe you've been drinking. You know, Libras don't do too well with alcohol, just so you know. So you always have to limit that, but it also could be some other kind of overindulgence. So but I feel it like when I'm feeling you, I feel it here in my back and also here in like the sacral region. So maybe even kidneys or bladder problems. I don't know if like what you're doing to overindulge is causing that, but I think maybe what we'll do is like a sacral like chakra healing thing with about like 3 more cards to see what could be causing that you to kind of be excessive somehow. So let's get to the cards, because that's a lot, and I don't want you to I don't want you to have to sit here too long to get an answer for yourself. So, and just like I tell, I don't know if you watched any of my other videos because they are really for other signs, but I don't really edit my videos, so I'm going to move this, computer, and then we're going to get to it with the cards down below, so you can see what's going on. And another thing I want to tell you is that I use an astrology deck because I am an astrologist. So you may not be familiar with some of the symbols, but they are astrology symbols, and they're also Greek mythology symbols. And I interpret them a little bit based on, what the deck originally was, what was originally written by the author, but also just what your story is, because, that's how the cards come out. And so, like I said before, the first one that I want to do for you is I want to do a card that says, what allowed you to be taken advantage of in the first place? Like, what happened? I also have these tiny hands, so sometimes it's hard for me to shuffle. And I see these other people shuffling like, so well, and I'm like, oh, and trust me, if I could, I would shuffle a little bit better. Okay, so the first card is here. This is what allowed you to be taken advantage of in the past, and this is what strength do you need going forward. And this will be, will you be successful sooner rather than later, or sort of stifled? Now here we are, you and I are sitting together, and so some of these cards, you're over here, I'm here. Some of them might be reversed to you, so I will let you know if that's the case, okay? And I'm also just going to quickly light some candles here, because I want to get some of this positive energy here for you. And I also want to, because you feel like you said you were also behind, I always feel like everybody needs a little bit of, money in their lives. So I'm going to light a couple of candles just so that we can have, some of that energy. So this first card here was what allowed you to be taken advantage of. So let's see what happened. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, so this card is in reverse for you, okay? And this is a strength card. This is a Leo card. And basically what this means is that you didn't have really the strength with people in your past that you needed to have in order to get them to basically work with you. Like to, you know, you made a lot of compromises, and those compromises weren't in your own best interest. And the reason why that happened was because there was not a lot of strength there. I mean, you have this ability. This card, you know, is the ability to be gentle and wise, but also tame the lion in your life, you know. So here's these people coming towards you that look ferocious and seem ferocious, and you know, you state your mind, but they seem to just bully right over you. And what you would have wanted to do in this situation is you want to keep thinking about it, thinking about how to solve the situation in a very gentle manner, in a way that resonates with your constitution, but also doesn't allow them to feel like, you know, these ferocious people to feel like they're always right or they're the smartest person in the room, because a lot of times they're not the smartest person in the room. You probably are the smartest person in the room, and you do have this ability, you know, to be strong and be gentle at the same time. But maybe you just don't have, in the past you didn't have the balance that you needed in order to do that, and you didn't trust yourself, you didn't trust, you know, your own strength and your ability. So, you know, that's why this card was reversed for you. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this card upright for you so that now you can use this to your advantage. This is your card now. You have the strength now, okay? So then, but what strength do you need going forward so that this won't happen again apart from this strength? Like, what else do you need, okay? So we're going to turn this over. Oh, okay. We have the Ace of Cups here. And this card is actually upright for you. So this is a strength, okay? And this is actually Ursa Minor. And what this is this is a cub bear. There is also a mama bear out there in a constellation, which is Ursa Major. And she is actually she was the mother to a child out of wedlock, and it was actually Zeus's child. And his wife Hera was so angry at this beautiful woman that she turned her into a bear. And what happened was she was separated from her child, but she would go check on her child all the time. And then one day the child grew up into a man and accidentally went hunting and stuck a bow and arrow in his mom. And then Zeus felt so bad about the whole situation that he immortalized them in the stars. So this is the baby cub. Okay, so what this card means is that you need to grow emotionally, because if this was Ursa Major, it would mean that you already had a lot of emotions, unconditional love, a lot of love and understanding to give a person. But this is the Ursa Minor, so it does mean that you do have a lot of, you know, love. You have some Cancer here, which means that you have this ability to grow a family. You have ability, because that's probably one of the things you might feel behind on, is like you haven't had children yet, and you haven't found the right person yet. And some of the people in the past could have been those ferocious people. Some of your lovers could have been ferocious. And so you just haven't gotten as far along as you want. But with this card, you have the Ace, you know, of Cups, meaning that it's a beautiful start for you to go ahead and use all of your energy, all of that strength that we found in this card, and all of this growing emotion. You need to express yourself emotionally. You need to tell people, you know, what you're after, even at work. Like, I want a stable position. I want to grow my family. I want to get a house. I want to get all of these things for security, to make myself feel better. I just need these things. So, you know, you have to let these people in your life understand what it is that you want so that, you know, you can grow. And, you know, this is the start of good growth here. And this is basically just what, you know, what you definitely need to work on. I mean, the strength is there, but the strength is, you know, you need to trust your strength, and you also need to grow a bit emotionally and then express yourself and tell people what you want, okay? And then let's see, if you do those things, what's going to happen? Are you going to still be stifled? Are you still going to be behind? Or are you going to have the abundance and success and the security and everything that you've been hunting for and looking for, okay? Because, you know, this little bear is a hunter, okay? So let's go. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is upright for you, and it's cardinal water, and you just got a king card, okay? That means yes, you will definitely be victorious. You will use all of your compassion, all of your love, all of your sense of family, all of your sense of togetherness and emotions, to be powerful and to have a lot of abundance, and also to, you know, express yourself in any way that you need to around people. Now, just caution yourself just a little bit, you know, with these emotions. Make sure that you don't, you know, overreact in situations. Make sure that you reach out to your friends when you have, you know, a lot of pent-up emotions or something like that, because a lot of times Libras, what happens is when they allow themselves to feel emotions too much, then they can get thrown off balance, and sometimes work becomes too emotional for them to stay in that position that they're in. People who are like, you know, ferocious coming towards them, it wears on them and they want to give up too soon. But you really need to make sure that you stay in this state where you feel positive, you use your emotions in a good way, you're able to communicate your emotions, okay? And then that means that, yes, sooner rather than later, you'll have what you need. You'll have your throne, you'll have your house, you'll have, you know, the family that you've been looking for, and you won't feel stifled anymore. But just make sure you use, you know, these gifts now that that you have going for you, okay? All right, whew, that was, you know, every time I do a reading, I have to trust the cards, and I'm always impressed that they give me the answers that I'm looking for. I'm so happy that they do, because otherwise, like, every once in a while, I'm afraid that the cards are just going to be like sneaky and not tell me something. But there you have it. I mean, it's you know, just even this card alone telling me that this is what you needed in the past. I mean, it's so evident right there, it having been in reverse. So let's move on to that healing that I was talking about, because I really feel like there's something going on in the sacral region. And with that, I feel like there's some excess going on. Like, it could be that you are eating foods that you're not supposed to be eating, you're drinking maybe a little bit too much, or, I mean, I hope you don't smoke cigarettes or whatever, but Libras, you know, anytime we put chemicals in our bodies that are unhealthy for us, it can totally throw us off balance very fast, okay? You know, so if you have something to drink, you know, you need to limit it to you don't want to, you know, go out all night and party. It's going to wreck you know, your skin and stuff like that. So and also, if, you know, Libras can be prone to like kidney problems too, so you want to make sure that you don't drink like too much soda or things with like a lot of sugar in it, because the sugars do have like a direct effect on our kidney health. So just, you know, be mindful of that as well. But I want to see what this, you know, with this sacral region of the chakras, there's blockages that happen, and a lot of times those have to do with emotions. And just reading the cards from before for you, I could see that you need to learn how to control your emotions better, because it seems like that's what you need to be triumphant. It could be that your emotions are keeping you from you know, standing up for yourself, because if you feel weak and emotional, then other people are going to see that and they're going to say, well, I can take advantage of this person, maybe not consciously but subconsciously, because they want to be right and they want to win. So let's just go back further and see what it was that, you know, caused you to develop this sort of emotional crutch, if you will. So give me 1 second and I'll come down with the computer and we'll go look at it again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a little story, okay? I need to see it too. And when I do that, I just do 3 cards and I turn them all over at the same time, and then I try to read the story. So let's just see what could be causing that overindulgence and that blockage in the sacral, that's a hard word for me to say apparently. It's probably irking you. Got me some slack. Just to see what's going on with that, like what kind of problems could be causing those blockages and causing this excess. Okay, so here we go. Let's turn it over. All right, so all of these cards, well, actually these 2 cards are upright for you, and this card is actually reverse. And so what I'm getting, this first card here is the Lepus, and it is the 7 of Swords, okay? Now, this card has some Gemini energy and also some Mercury energy, okay? And this is basically a healing card. This card comes when you feel just really down, and it's almost like it's an isolation card where a lot of times you just feel like you're alone in the world. Like sometimes it doesn't matter how many people are around you. You just still feel this inner loneliness that's really, really hard to explain even to yourself. You're not really sure exactly why, because you know you have like things to be grateful for, but you're really not sure why. But this Lepus card here, this is the rabbit, and he basically, you know, he in Greek mythology, he leaps in and out, sort of like, you know, the Alice in Wonderland rabbit. And so he's very elusive, but at the same time, this card also means healing, that when you're in isolation, you just feel like everything's elusive to you, like it's hard, like you're chasing something all the time. And so that makes you feel isolated. And you could be just chasing, you know, after these dreams that you have, and you're so ambitious, you're like overly ambitious. You're like, I must have this, but you feel also like, if I wasn't with this person, or if I hadn't done this thing, you know, in the past, then if I hadn't made these mistakes, I just wouldn't be here. So you feel defeated and you feel alone, but you're not alone. There are people out there, you know, in this particular case. Well, there are people, before I jump to that, jump to that with the rabbit, there are people out there that are there for you. You just need to reach out to the right people. Also, with this Gemini energy here, it's a separation from your twin. It's a separation from your love. So you feel disconnected with your own, you know, your own love, or even maybe from a person who could have seemed like instrumental in your life, but now they're no longer there to help you. So this is part of the story here. Then we have the Ace of Swords, okay? And this is the Southern Cross, and this is a sword that comes out of the Southern Cross. And the Southern Cross sword is basically there for you to start cutting through anything that doesn't serve you. And it's a gift. It's like a gift from the gods saying, like, here's this weapon that you can use to basically, you know, cut down those ferocious people in your life. And it's saying that, you know, this card was upright for you, so you have this ability. You've had this gift all along, but you're really not using it because you feel isolated, you feel separated. something's just not right. And it's just maybe a lot of loss or a lot of missed opportunities or a lot of bad decisions that you felt like were, and also just letting people take advantage of you, okay? So that's the reason why I feel like this over ambition to get everything done might be causing some of this, these problems for you, like overindulgence of whatever it is. I don't know if it's, like I said, alcohol or, God forbid, drugs. I would hate for that to be, you know, oh, if that was the case, you know, I just want to hug you and say, you don't need that because you have so many gifts. Or if it's just, you know, overeating, something simple like that, or smoking, or just running yourself ragged, okay? So now with this card, which is upside down, this is the Alrisha card. And basically what this is telling me, with this constellation, Alrisha is the star that connects the two sides of Pisces, and it's upside down for you, okay? And this is also the Seven of Cups. Now, what this card means is that you've created bonds in your life that don't serve you, okay? When this is upside down, whenever that star connects the two Pisces, that's a bonding situation. And when you see this card, it means that two things: either you need to, you know, you have a beautiful bond with somebody, or the second thing is that you have an unhealthy bond. And since this is upside down, you have some unhealthy bonds that are either in the past that caused you, you know, to that didn't serve you well. You were bonded with someone who didn't serve you well, and you needed to break that bond sooner, but it took too much time. You like wasted some time. And now I can see, you know, why this overindulgence and stuff happened. Like you need to really meditate on the past and get rid of it. Like, you need to say to yourself, you know, I have those strengths that we talked about earlier. You know, I have the ability to, you know, have that Leo strength and have the gentleness that it takes, in the emotional intelligence that it takes to really get what I want, to ask for what I want. You know, Madonna always said, ask for what you want. You know, you just have to, if you don't ask, you're not going to get it. And you have to have faith in yourself and trust yourself. And I see that, you know, in the past you had some some bad luck, I guess we can just call it that. But all along you've had this sword, you know, you've had this ability to cut through anything that you needed to, but you just didn't, you know, you just haven't been using it that well. So I want you to just go back and meditate on that. If you need to, like, burn a candle for yourself and really, you know, go on the internet and find out what that chakra means, what that sacral chakra means, and, you know, look through the list and find out what's causing this, you know, excess. Is it I'm overly ambitious and I just have, like, you know, I'm drowning myself in some sort of vice because I don't feel, you know, good about things that have happened. So don't do that to yourself. Go out there, give yourself some healing, give yourself some spiritual healing. You do have so many gifts. I mean, you have a lot of strength, and if you just work on, you know, your emotions and keeping those in balance, because that's what we have to do, right, Libra? And I just want to say that I hope this really helped you. I hope that now you know that you have everything it takes to, you know, tame any lion that comes across. And I just, you know, really want you to feel special now, and I want to give my love to you, and I want to tell you that you're gonna get, I told you already with the cards that you will be triumphant, okay? And so with that, I just want to give you a hug, and I want to say that hopefully I'll see you next month. And, you know, I got to give my love to my Libras, and if you have any other Libras that maybe you think could use this message, please tell them to check out the video, and also make sure you leave a comment, because, you know, even though I want to give to you guys, if in order for me to keep the channel going, I need to be able to get some feedback and some engagement. So even if it's just you telling me, hey, rock on, or you need to change your lighting or something, I don't really care. Just give me something so that I can keep this going. And With that, I want to say good night and I want to say peace out. All right. Bye, Libra friends. Love you guys.